Hi, a very good evening to my fellow friends. Thank you all for coming. Right, shall we begin?
Yes.
We are here to talk about the most important purpose of education. I shall begin the discussion. In my point of view, I believe that the most important purpose of education is it encourages good self-esteem. There are two reasons to support my stance. Firstly, students will be able to have their own stance when applying knowledge. Positive self-esteem can and should be nurtured very young age. While the self-esteem movement often gets ridiculed, we do want our students to feel confident about their learning abilities. Through education, students will not only have a firm grasp on each subject, but also will be confident when it comes to application of it. For example, during a test, a student will be able to apply their knowledge confidently in a piece of paper. Thus, it is important to nurture a strong balance between encouraging good self-esteem and assuaging unrealistic goals. Secondly, education provides an opportunity for the students to contribute to the community. It gives them a sense of ownership and pride. Educators look for a special strength, interests, and gifts in their students and help translate those gifts into responsibilities they can assume. For example, students' special talents are recognized. With that, they can build their self-esteem. Thus, it is indeed true that education encourages good self-esteem. Let's hear your point, Jaren.
Sorry, I have to disagree with your point. Education did boost self-esteem. At the same time, I feel that education also reduces self-esteem. This is because in learning constitution, we always compete with our grades and marks. Those who get lower marks, they will easily give up, and hence they will think that they are not good at that particular subject, and therefore they don't want to work at that field. In my opinion, I think the most important purpose of education is to create thoughtful citizens. We learned about moral and civilization in school. From that, we knew a lot of social ethics. Therefore, it will create a peaceful community with low crime rates. For example, people will always be greeting with each other, or they will choose to solve problems based on communication rather than having a quarrel. Furthermore, education creates a community that cares for the surroundings. For example, we won't throw rubbish everywhere as it may pollute environment and also destroy the beauty of the housing area. We knew our responsibility to take care of our Mother Earth. On the other hand, how can we expect an illiterate person to do all of this? So, do you agree with me, Hui Ying?
Thank you, Jaren. I totally agree with you, Jaren. Firstly, I would like to disagree with Baishu's point because I believe that the most important purpose of education is not to encourage good self-esteem. My point of view is that people who are uneducated, they can also increase their self-esteem through various ways, like they can pick up a skill or a problem-solving skill irregardless of their field of expertise, meaning that they can also increase their self-esteem through other things like uh, other skills, even though they are not educated. From my point of view, I believe that the most important purpose of education is to create thoughtful citizens. What is the meaning of thoughtful? It basically means consideration and taking thought for the comfort and good for others, providing little attentions, offering services, or looking out for the comfort or welfare of others. Education is not just at school, it is also at home too. It means that our parents can also give us education since we are young. My first point is that education at school, we learn the subject moral at SPM level. We learned about ethics and ways to be a person with integrity and moral values. The most important point is we apply the moral values at our practical daily lives. For an example, when I study in foundation level here in UPM, I learned to lend a helping hand to our peers who are weaker than me academically. Thus, I'm able to be more thoughtful and considerate towards others and help them to solve their problems like it is my problem too. Besides that, I can also learn to be more thoughtful and considerate towards my peers, not just only academic wise. I can also give them support or motivational words to them when they are feeling down. For an example, our KK, which is Jana, she recently just endured a very tragic incident at her home. So I learned to be more considerate and thoughtful to her problem too. Secondly, I believe that education at home also creates thoughtful citizens. This is because our parents, they make a very important impression on us, and we as a young child, we always copy our parents. So if our parents are thoughtful, we will also be thoughtful and considerate citizens too. While we are still young, our parents will teach us based on children moral stories, and we can learn to apply them in daily lives and be more considerate. A very easy example is that we could learn that we should not throw rubbish everywhere, like Jaren said, and not vandalize any public amenities like parks or playgrounds. Another example is that, for instance, the recent COVID-19 pandemic, uh, at United States of America, why are their COVID-19 cases so high, although their healthcare system is one of the best at the world ranking? Well, my humble opinion is that I believe that the American citizens, they may lack of education, maybe not education at school or college level, or maybe they lack education at home. I believe that maybe their parents, they are unthoughtful or unconsiderate citizens. So their children also copy them by not wearing masks or practicing any social distancing during this COVID-19 pandemic. Thus, their COVID-19 cases at America is so high. This is my opinion.
I'm the same page as Jaren too. Main purpose of education is thoughtful citizen. In this materialistic life, being thoughtful is indeed important because it creates a positive vibration. For example, educated people don't necessarily argue, they evaluate things to reduce problem, as Jaren said just now. They also learn how to apply their knowledge in their life. This shows that thoughtful citizens are important. It shows how civilized a country is. An ancient Greek poet, Pindar, when alluding the importance of education, remarked that nothing is more important than nothing is more important or more difficult than to become a man. This shows that thoughtful citizen is indeed the main purpose of education.
I want to add on something to the Huing point. I actually agree with the point about American citizens that lack of education. From my view, unlike Asians, those Americans they are educated, but they are educated to pursue freedom. Um, other than unlike Asians are um, educated to follow the instruction. Yes, they are thoughtful, but they are taught about their freedom. Um, I think that education actually bear people who knows how to follow the instruction. In this COVID case, we as a citizen, we know the importance to follow the rule. Therefore, we can protect ourselves, our family, and other people. That's all from me. Thank you.
Based on our discussion, I believe that all of us agreed that thoughtful citizen is the ultimate purpose of education. We have come to the end of our discussion. Thank you for the interesting discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.